Consumer exuberance, coupled with the banking industry focusing on lower income bracket groups, is what gave rise to subprime mortgage crisis and gave rise to my research. Buying a house is one of the most important decisions we make in our lifetime. Unfortunately, researchers within consumer behavior have not looked into this and how the mortgage messages could impact policies and financial marketing services. When a consumer makes this decision, they're actively looking and comparing their reality, which is the mortgage prices, their income, the risks involved, with their fantasy, which is a mansion with 8 bedrooms, acres of garden. And I look at this mix, the mix of reality through a financial resource scarcity mindset lens versus the fantasy, which is control level theory, and how psychologically we trigger curiosity to enable these fantasies. Thus, how a consumer would think concretely or abstractly about this decision. Now, to explain those terms, scarcity is a cognitive perception of resources being insufficient and the feeling that's activated from this perception, whereas control level theory is what event will occur. So a mindset trigger within my studies with the abstract and concrete advertisements. Although there are multiple reasons for the subprime mortgage crisis, one of the possible explanations is the fact that the banks were not able to rein in this fantasy with the reality of consumers of what they could actually afford, which is what motivated the following studies. I firstly ran a field study through Google Ads, and we looked into about 2,000 consumers within the US existing in affluent and deprived neighborhoods, which were proxy for financial resource scarcity and abundant mindsets. I circulated the abstract and concrete mortgage advertisements within these areas, which were pre-tested, and we found out that those in abundant mindsets do have a preference for, well, both of the advertisements, so they're more curious, but prefer the abstract advertisements compared to those in the deprived neighborhoods or scarce mindsets tend to have a preference for concrete advertisements and thus concrete information. I looked into more carefully into the underlying process of the causality of curiosity with this interaction of abstract messages and scarce and abundant mindsets through lab experiments. We studied again around 500 US consumers, and we confirmed the results you see there. This findings have the implications for policymakers impacting the monetary policies and how to target consumers in diverse income brackets with concrete or abstract messages and avoid housing bubbles. This also has implications for the banking industry, which are dynamically changing their financial marketing practices. Thank you.